It's an unforgettable day, and it could be their last one on Earth. It's the latest book in the They Both Die in the Inn series by author Adam Silvera, and he joins us now to talk about the latest addition to his mega best-selling series. So excited to chat with you today, Adam. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Jennifer. I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, well, first let's chat about the new book and why we should buy a box of tissues to go along.
Well, I have definitely developed a bit of a reputation this past decade of publishing novels, of writing really heartbreaking novels. But the new book, The Survivor Wants to Die at the End, is about two boys, and one who is struggling with a will to live, and the other boy who wants to save him. And it's a really personal novel for me, but it's truly about finding the beauty in life. And so it might sound really heavy, but it doesn't have a bleak ending. But you get to really experience the highs and lows of just mental health.
And something we can all relate to. Again, you said finding the beauty in life, and something we can all be reminded of, right? When we have our struggles. So I think that's relatable in that sense. Would you say for the book for everybody?
Absolutely. And I mean, I think it's about like the beauty of community and letting people come in and help you when you are struggling, because I think so often people try to battle mental illnesses alone, and when really I'm just strongly of the belief that like people need people, and especially in low times, just as much as they welcome them during the high times.
Okay, where does this story fit in the rest of this universe that you've created?
Yeah, so the universe for this series is the third book in the series. The timeline can feel a little weird, but the first book, They Both Die at the End, takes place in the year 2017. And then in the second book, we have a bit of a prequel sequel called The First to Die at the End, which takes place back in 2010, which is on the first day of the Deathcast universe, where Deathcast is this organization that can predict when someone is about to die. They cannot tell them how they will die or what time exactly, just that today is the day and they are never wrong. And we get to see what the first day of that looked like. But in this third novel, we're in the year 2020, and we get to see these two boys who we meet for the first time in that second book. And they're now grown teenagers and with their own lives and just trying to take control over their own destinies.
Okay, how important is it for you to tell stories with the LGBT characters?
I mean, that's my identity, and it's something that I'm incredibly proud and privileged that I've been able to do. There's definitely a time in the industry where it was really hard for a queer author to be able to break out into the industry with telling stories about themselves. And I'm so grateful to the readers who have been so vocal in supporting this series, and just watching the boom of queer authors across the industry now, like, get to tell their stories and have like phenomenal adaptations of their work, and just reach heights that seemed so impossible before.
And now this series, it was during the pandemic where that it took off, right? How was that for you? I know even on TikTok, it took off.
I mean, that was really wild. I remember, it started in August 2020, so we were a few months deep into the pandemic. I was living alone. Things felt really bleak on my end. My family was all in New York. I was living in Los Angeles, and I couldn't see my friends in Los Angeles. And then all of a sudden, it felt like I started having more and more friends when all these new readers started discovering the book for the first time. We were all reevaluating our own lives during the pandemic, right? We were watching people split and people rediscovering old passions and decide to change careers and everything. And I think these books definitely invite us to challenge what it is that we want out of life. I feel like I did a lot of soul searching myself in that time. So it's been really lovely to connect with others who have done the same.
Yes. And I hear that your stories might be making it to Netflix. Is this true?
We are. Yeah. We're working with Chris Van Dusen, who created Bridgerton on Netflix. And so, I hope our show is even like half as romantic as Bridgerton. And really excited for that to start making its way to readers everywhere.
Okay, I just got goosebumps for you. Okay, thank you so much, Adam. We're excited to read the new book. And for more information, go to our website, essaylive.com. Click the As Seen on Essay Live tab. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. Thank you, Adam.
You as well. Thank you, Jennifer.